according to my source, the end of the world will be on February 14th in the year 2016.
Valentine's Day. Bummer.
Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Hope you're having a great weekend. It is crazy cold here in Pennsylvania, at least the area of Pennsylvania I'm in, and I haven't really run out and done much hunting this weekend. I haven't really gone out much at all. I did go out yesterday and actually got myself a new phone. I'm recording this right now with my iPhone 6S. So that's really the only shopping I did. I bought one movie. Oh, not one movie, one title when I was at Target, which we'll take a look at some other time down the road. But that was it. It's like everything I bought this weekend, just one title. It's just been so cold. I have not wanted to go out. Like walking from my car to the Target, I was like, don't want to do that again. It was that cold. So, but I did get a new phone, which is pretty cool. I've just been putting off getting a new phone for a while now. I've been wanting to get the 6S for some time, but I don't know. Basically laziness is the key. I've been wanting to get it since like it came out, but I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the store and buy it, and that sounds like effort. So I just haven't, but I figured jump on it. Here it is. Liking it so far. Is the picture quality looking any better? Apparently the rear-facing camera is supposed to be better on this phone, from what I read, and that's how I record these videos. For those of you who always ask, I record these videos with my phone. You do not need fancy cameras and stuff to do YouTube videos. You can just use your phone. In fact, I can edit these on my... You can basically do everything on the phone. You can shoot a whole movie on your phone. You can edit videos on your phone. Most videos you see that have like an intro and an outro, they were edited straight from my phone. I didn't even use editing software on my computer. It's really simple. If you keep your videos just simple and easy, you can do it all on your phone. Pretty awesome. So that's how I do record my videos. And I don't know, is the picture quality looking any better? You guys tell me. Looks kind of the same to me, at least on my phone. I don't know. From what I can see on my screen, it looks the same. But you guys let me know if you see anything better. I don't know. But anyway, all right, let's get down to today's daily sickness video, and we have some reviews for you guys. Watched a lot of great stuff. A little behind on my reviews too, so got a little bit more than usual. So let's just dive right into these. I'm gonna try to get through these as quickly as possible, as always. So let's go. So first up, here's a movie that I had heard some bad things about when it came out, and I completely disagree. And that is Goosebumps. I loved the absolute hell out of this movie. It was so much fun. I went into it thinking, oh man, it's gonna just be like, it's gonna maybe like disrespect the classic TV series, or even the books. I never read the books when I was a kid. As I said before, Goosebumps, I was a little bit too old for Goosebumps. My brother, who's 2 years younger than me, him and his friends were in the Goosebumps. Me and my friends and the other kids in my school at that time, ooh, Goosebumps for little kids. So we never watched the series. We never really read the books or anything like that. But years later, I started collecting movies, and I started watching the series. I was like, this show's awesome. It's kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I definitely grew up with Are You Afraid of the Dark. It's great. It's a great series. I mean, I'm sure the books are great. I don't know. I never read the books, but the series is fantastic. So I was thinking maybe this is going to be just like you do a piss poor job at paying homage to the classic stories. And as far as again, I'm basing this all off the TV series. I thought it was great. It was a really fun movie, and that's really what it comes down to. It's not this movie isn't gold or anything like that, but it's fun. I like the characters. I like the story. I, of course, love the fact that it's a kid moving to a new town. Because if you ever watch a Goosebumps movie, or a Goosebumps episode, or an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, 99.9% of the time, new kid in a new town. That's how it pretty much always goes. Every now and then that's not the case, but it seems like at least all right, maybe I'm exaggerating. Let's say at least 75% of the time, it's a kid moving to a new town, everything goes crazy. That seems to be always the way these stories go. So as soon as the movie started out like that, I was like, yes, he's moving to a new town. So glad they went in that direction. So I really love this movie. Again, it was a lot of fun. I thought it paid great homage to the stories. They kind of left it over for a sequel. I don't know if we'll get one, but I would love a sequel if it's as much fun as this. So fun all around. I would actually highly recommend this movie. I was blown away. I was expecting it to be very mediocre, and it turned out to be fantastic. I'm already looking forward to watching this again. I might hold off and probably watch it again during the Halloween Horror-thon, but I'm kind of itching already to rewatch it. It was that good. I sat down and watched all the special features. This is of a commentary? No. It does not have commentary. I don't know if I really want to watch a commentary on this anyway, but still, great. Check it out. Oh, another cool thing is it was a mixture of CGI and live action, like actual like traditional special effects. And I thought that was really cool the way they did that. I mean, they kind of used CGI where they needed to, where they went like, okay, we're creating, this Wolfman character. That's going to be a little, I kind of understand what, I don't know. Actually, the Wolfman character, I kind of felt I wish they kind of went with traditional special effects with him. But they went CGI and kind of see where they did that. There was a scene with little trolls, little lawn gnomes, I guess you would call them, attacking. I can see why they use that. The giant praying mantis. I get why they went CGI with that. They use CGI where they needed to, but they use practical special effects. That's what I'm looking for. They use practical special effects quite often, and that was really cool. And I give them kudos to that. I would say though that the CGI seemed a little rushed, especially on the Wolfman. If you're watching this and you watch the Wolfman, look at his hair and stuff. It seems cheap. It just seems like they kind of slacked on the CGI. I was a little put off by that, which again is kind of why I'm not a big fan of CGI, because if you don't, if you slack a bit, it's gonna show. And honestly, CGI just doesn't have that great feel. The practical special effect thing being there seems a lot more scarier than what I'm looking at as when I'm looking at a cartoon basically attacking somebody. But still, I think they did a great job. I give them kudos to using practical special effects when necessary, or when they could. So very awesome. Goosebumps. Check it out. It was a hell of a lot of fun. All right, then two movies that I do not have physical copies of. I watched my ultraviolet digital copies of. First one being Straight Outta Compton. A lot of you guys were saying I gotta check this movie out, and it was great. A fantastic story of NWA. I don't have much to say about it. If you guys are interested in the rap group NWA, and you want to hear how they've come, how they went from just nothing to something fantastic, and then leading into kind of just like Eazy-E's life. It almost seemed like the movie was like two movies. It was like half the story of NWA and then like half the story of like Eazy-E. That's almost kind of how it felt. But still, it was really well done. I mean, very long, but that's okay. It flew by. All the characters are great. Paul Giamatti was fantastic in it, as he always is, because Paul Giamatti, greatest actor alive. I thought all the people they got to play, like Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and Eazy, they did a pretty good job of portraying those characters and looking at those characters. I think they casted very, very well in this. Again, I thought it was just, Suge Knight, everything like that. They casted really well. So I thought everything was great. It was fantastic, amazing story. I'm assuming it's at least mostly true to life, because I hear, like the members of MWA and stuff like that, had a lot of input and whatnot. I think, wasn't like Ice Cube, I think he produced it and stuff like that. So apparently, they had a lot of input in this movie from what I read, and from that, I'm assuming it's at least mostly true. It's a movie, so it can definitely go Hollywood at times, I'm sure, but still fantastic story. Definitely 100% recommend checking it out if you have interest in that. Obviously, if you have no interest in NWA, there's no reason to watch it. But if you want to hear the fantastic story of the rise and sort of fall of NWA, check it out. It was great. All right, then a movie that I'm really happy. The day I watched this, Cinema Sickness Jr. was sick, and I brought him down here in the library, and I laid down on the couch, and I put a movie on, and laid him on top of me because he wasn't feeling well, and he passed out immediately. He doesn't usually do that at the time I was watching this. He's usually up and wide awake, but he was so sick, he just went out. So glad he did, because I put on Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I did not know anything about this movie when I went into it, and I kind of just thought, just from the title and even the poster art, I just thought it was kind of like a kid's version of a zombie apocalypse movie, kind of like Nickelodeon's version of Zombie Apocalypse. I was just completely assuming, because I had not heard anything about this movie. I was wrong. Very, very wrong. This is a very raunchy movie, cursing, nudity, gore. It involves some kids, but it's not a kids movie by any means. And I'm sitting here watching it, like within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this isn't a kids movie, and I'm like really happy Cinema Sickness Jr. is sleeping. He slept through the whole thing, thank God. So I would have stopped it probably, because my wife would have freaked out had she known that if he would have watched it. I don't really want him watching that quite yet, but it was great. It was really fun. It was very funny, Great zombie apocalypse movie. A little, had some different twists and turns than other zombie apocalypse movies. But if you are a fan of zombie apocalypse films, you're a fan of zombie films, one to check out. Again, very fun, very funny, great characters, great story. Very raunchy, kind of like a teen sex comedy meets zombie apocalypse, I guess you could kind of say. So I really, really enjoyed it. I was pleasantly surprised because, like I said, I went into it thinking kids movie. That's why I was going to watch it with Simmons Jr. And I was pleasantly wrong. So check it out. Great movie. Again, if you're a fan of zombie movies, zombie apocalypse movies, see it. It was fun. Then I watched Russkies. Although, no, you know what? Simmons Jr. didn't watch this with me. I watched Russkies. And kind of, I think it even says on here somewhere. Didn't it say, maybe that was on my VHS. I had a VHS copy of this. People were saying like it was like Red Dawn meets Stand By Me. Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like a Stand By Me sort of story. It's these boys and their best buddies and stuff, and they kind of live in this like army base sort of like town, and these Russians come and sort of invade. Not invade kind of like in Red Dawn necessarily, but invade in a different sort of way. And they're the ones who basically catch on to this, and they know what's going on before the whole rest of the town does. And they even try to warn the town, but everybody's like, "You're stupid kids, you don't know what you're talking about." And they end up befriending one of the Russians, and it's a very interesting story. It's a great, just like 80s kid story. If you are fans of things like Stand By Me, I'm not going to say this is nearly as good as Stand By Me, but if you're a fan of movies like that, it's definitely worth checking out. I love the fact a lot of great characters in this movie. I love the fact that I'm drawing blanks now. Walking Phoenix. Wow. Walking Phoenix is in this. Ralphie from Christmas Story. What the hell is his name? Peter Billingsley, is that his name, right? Yeah. I see him and I go, Ralphie. So Ralphie from Christmas Story's in this as well, which is cool because I had like never seen him in anything as a kid. Like, everything I see him in nowadays is like he's like a little mini character like as an adult. But it was great to see him in it, and of course it is really cool to see Walking Phoenix as like a little kid, because I was like, holy crap! I don't know if I've ever seen Walking Phoenix as a kid in something. So great. I would recommend checking it out. It's just a fun 80s, kids sort of like buddy film. So definitely worth checking out. You're into Goonies, you're into Stand By Me, stuff like that. Definitely worth seeing. Then I watched Once in a Lifetime: The Extraordinary Story of the New York Cosmos. The front of this, though, is a little misleading. It says goals, greed, girls, and that's just the first half. I thought this was going to be a lot more, I don't know how to say, like, I don't say controversial, but a lot more, I'm not sure what the word I'm looking for is, but it's more, into, like the craziness and the wildness of this, and a lot more extreme things that went on. It's really not. It's just kind of the rise and fall of this the soccer team, where apparently at one point they were trying to bring football over to the United States, because it's huge everywhere else, not so much here in the United States. And we're like the one country who just like, screw soccer. But everywhere else, obviously, it's huge. So at one point they tried to bring it over here, and they succeeded. They got this group to become huge and whatnot, but due to like piss poor management and just a lot of mistakes, they destroyed it. So it's kind of interesting to watch this group go from nothing and then them get built up into actually something great and something really cool, and then get destroyed and become nothing. So a great story about that. Again, the goals, greed, and girls thing. Yeah, I mean, they became a big sports team for a little while. So yeah, of course there was, rivalries and ladies and stuff like that going on. Okay, but it's not to the extent that the cover makes you think it is. But great story, very interesting. If you're into documentaries, it's definitely one to check out. If you're into soccer, football, it is definitely worth checking out. Interesting story of the rise and fall of this team, and how it could have been something great. Football could have been big here in America, possibly, but again, it didn't work out because of just a bunch of really bad decisions, not only within the New York Cosmos, but within just the the soccer league in general and how they kind of screwed everything up. So definitely a shame because as far as sports goes, it's kind of like hockey and soccer are the two sports I'm kind of like okay with. I don't care about baseball, I don't care about football, I don't care about basketball or anything like that. It's like, but I can see why people get into hockey. It's fun. It's fast paced all the time, and I can see why people get into soccer. Same thing, fast paced all the time. In fact, they mentioned that in here that they think Americans don't like soccer because it is so fast paced. It's a game that like never stops. Whereas there's a lot of like start and stops in baseball and in football and stuff like that, and basketball and everything like that. I could see that. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that it's just constantly going. I think that makes it interesting and makes it more exciting in my opinion. That's why I don't like football and baseball. It's boring. It's not. There are too many starts and stops. You're just like, oh, when's this going to be over? So it's not my thing. But very very interesting. Definitely worth checking out. And who knows, maybe someday soccer will be big here in the United States. I mean, I know it's had a comeback, and there are a lot of like little league like soccer teams, and we do have a decent soccer team now, like an American soccer team. And I know soccer's it's, I don't want to say on the rise, but it's bigger than it has been, which is great. But still, it's kind of just like nobody really cares about it too much anymore here in the United States, which is a shame. Hopefully someday. Who knows? Anyway. All right, so then with Sesame Jr., I watched Best of Sesame Street Spoofs, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This is great. I love Sesame Street. I mean, I grew up with Sesame Street. I'm sure, as all of you did, you grew up with Sesame Street. I grew up with Sesame Street. Sesame Jr., he's growing up with Sesame Street. He's already watching it. He loves Elmo, or Melmo, as he calls him. It's just a big fan of Elmo, which is a shame. I tried to get him hooked on Big Bird, because I was a Big Bird man when I was a kid. And nope, he loves his Elmo. Whatever. I know Elmo speaks to kids. Kids love Elmo nowadays. Although, interesting story about the guy who made Elmo big, which is a documentary in itself. Check it out. Anyway, so it's just classic spoofs. And what I mean by spoofs is everything from spoofs on movies, spoofs on TV shows, spoofs on commercials, and it ranges from when Sesame Street started all the way up into modern day Sesame Street. And I think that's great because you get to see some of the early spoofs, and a lot of kids watching it will have no idea what those spoofs are based on. But again, I know, okay, that's based on Dragnet. That's based on this old show. That's based on that old show. Very very cool. And then of course, as things go on, they have spoofs on John and Kate Plus 8, which was hilarious by the way. True Blood. The Old Spice commercials. Just what else? I forget what else. Anyway, a lot of cool stuff. It was pretty awesome. So definitely recommend. So if you can get your hands on this, it's worth picking up. It's just a lot of fun to watch because not only are you watching just great Sesame Street and funny Sesame Street, but they're spoofing stuff that we're probably into as it is anyway. So very cool. We're checking out. I loved watching this. I think Sesame Jr. was a little disappointed though because there wasn't a lot of Elmo, unfortunately, in there. But it is what it is. So then I checked out The Barber, which I was highly recommended, and yeah, The Barber was okay. It was interesting. I just kind of I was put off by the ending. Maybe I'll try not to spoil this for you guys, but it's a story about this guy who was apparently this serial killer, and kind of he got caught and then got acquitted and moved on to his life, became this barber in this town, and nobody really knew about it and everything like that. But of course, the cop who was the one who apparently tracked him down and found him, who ended up committing suicide. His son is now going after this guy because finally tracked him down. He's been tracking him for years. He wants to get him because his dad got him, but then he got acquitted, so he wants to go after him now and put an end to it and whatnot. And it's kind of crazy the way he goes about that, and kind of befriends the guy he's going after and whatnot. It's interesting. So an interesting story, well done and whatnot. I just didn't like the ending. And you know what? Spoiler, okay? Sorry. I gotta do it sometimes. I want to talk about movies. I gotta spoil them sometimes. What I did like about the ending is The Barber, that he didn't get away with what he did. I kind of wanted him to. Yeah, at the very end, you think, okay, the Barber's the bad guy in this movie is kind of getting what he wants to get, and then he does it. The good guys basically kind of win out, and the Barber character gets screwed, and I guess gets what's coming to him because, again, he was a serial killer and, gets what's coming to him. But yeah, obviously a serial killer, bad person, and he shouldn't succeed. but it just would have made the movie more fun and interesting. I don't know. I'm so sick of the good guys win. It's 90% of the time that's what happens. I kind of like that 10% of the time where the bad guy gets the upper hand at the end of the movie. It's just more exciting. I don't know, especially when the movie's based on it's a movie about the bad guy. I kind of want to see the guy I've invested in kind of get away with what he did. I don't know. So it was okay. It just the ending was kind of just like I don't know. Just the ending was just kind of mediocre for me. But all in all, it was a decent story. I wasn't blown away by it. It was just again, it's worth seeing. You can get this for $1 at Dollar Tree if you can still find a copy of it. It's worth picking up for $1. It's worth checking out. I just wasn't blown away by it, but it was good. It is worth seeing if you want to see it. Then I checked out Game 6, and this was also just okay. I wasn't blown away by this one either. I mean, I love Michael Keaton in it. That was cool, and seeing him with Catherine O'Hara again was really cool. It's always fun seeing them together. But it was just all right. It's about this guy who writes plays, and he's kind of freaking out because Robert Downey Jr., who's his critic, he's coming to see it, and Michael Keaton's kind of like, I don't care about critics and whatnot. I just do what I do. But he's starting to stress about it a bit. And at the same time, the World Series is going on, and his team, the Red Sox versus Yankees? They're playing, and it's definitely Red Sox. Red Sox. Blah, blah, blah. Doesn't say who they're playing, but anyway, his team is the Red Sox. Doesn't matter. So his team is the Red Sox, and they're always letting him down and whatnot. And he's stressed out over the game. He's stressed out over the critic and whatnot, and it's basically just him dealing with what's going on and everything like that at the time, and it's just okay. He's going through a divorce. He's got his daughter and whatnot. It's just kind of him sort of having I'm not saying a breakdown, but him just kind of maybe sort of having some new feelings that doesn't really know how to deal with necessarily. So interesting movie. I wasn't blown away by it. When I say check it out, again, it's one of those things I'm gonna say if you want to see it, it's worth seeing. But this isn't one you need to check out. It was just kind of okay. A movie I love though, Shaun the Sheep, the movie. Yes, Shaun the Sheep movie. For some reason they left the out, which I don't get, because on the back here it says Shaun the Sheep, the movie and whatnot, and on IMDb I think it says that too. But all the cover art and stuff I see just says Shaun the Sheep movie. So that's what I'm going to call it. Watch this with Sesame Jr. He seemed to really like it. I love Wallace and Gromit. I love Chicken Run. I loved, what was that one about the rats? I can't think of it. It had the rats and the slugs. What the hell's the name of that movie? I'm drawing a complete blank. I've only seen it once before. I need to watch that movie again. It was good, but I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, so I love everything. And am I going to say it right? Is it Aardman? Aardman. Am I saying that correctly? I don't know. But I've been a big fan of Wallace and Gromit since I was little, because I had an art teacher in high school. Well, not little, but younger. I had an art teacher in high school who was obsessed with Wallace and Gromit, and every year she would put on, one day during the year, she would bring a wheel of TV, we'd watch Wallace and Gromit. So I've been a fan ever since then. So a big fan of this company, a big fan of what they do, and the Shaun the Sheep series is great, and the movie was very well done. I absolutely love the characters, and I loved the dog catcher, the animal catcher here going after him, and it's so funny the way it's set up with basically Shaun the Sheep wants to escape his life. Him and his buddies and the farmer, they had this great life and everything, but then they kind of got stuck in this routine. They're all stuck in a rut, and it's just not what it used to be. Big, happy, fun, loving farm has turned into kind of just this miserable mess of just just every day it's the same thing over and over again. And Shaun the Sheep's kind of this isn't what it used to be. I want out of here. And when he tries to escape, whole big mess happens, and it just snowballs in this big mess. And then of course the message of the story is at the end that things aren't so bad. He basically comes to love his home, and him, the other animals, the farmer, they all kind of realize that they need to change their ways. It sucks they're being stuck in a rut. They need to just be happy and get back to how things were back in the day when everything was great. So fantastic movie. Really recommend this one. It's a lot of fun. If you're just a fan of things like Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run stuff, definitely worth checking out. Then I watched a movie CD here. We have Alien Autopsy, Fact or Fiction. This was a Fox TV special. This was back when the Alien Autopsy video came out in the early 90s. the problem with this is from what I read online, apparently when this came out, they sent people out, people out to check out the story and whatnot, and work on the making of this documentary. And apparently during the making of it, they pretty much found out it was complete BS. But they still went ahead and showed this anyway, even though like as they're making this and as they're finding information out about this, they're like, okay, this is BS. They still went ahead and made it anyway because, well, it's gonna the ratings, and it was apparently it was and still is the most watched show ever on Fox from what I've read. So yeah, I guess they made their money, but it's just funny because like they knew it was BS when they aired it. They aired something that they knew was like complete BS, and apparently it is. The Autopsy video was faked and everything like that. It came out that it was fake. So that alien autopsy video, not real. So it's what it is. But it's still an interesting documentary, nevertheless. It's just fun history right here, in my opinion. Fun television history, fun kind of hoax history. So very, very cool. Would I recommend it? It's just fun. If it's your thing, it's worth checking out. It's kind of goofy. Will I watch it again? Probably not. But it was fun to watch and interesting. And this is cool. It's actually 2 discs. First disc is Alien Autopsy Fact or Fiction, the special. And the second disc is actually the unedited autopsy video. So you get to watch the whole video, which is really cool for this movie CD release. Then I checked out, this was great, Bad Words. Oh, great Jason Bateman movie. He ends up joining this like kids spelling bee, all due to a technicality in the rules, and he ends up getting to do it. And of course, people are, everybody's like against this, and they're making a mockery out of he's making a mockery out of this the spelling bee. That's supposed to be for kids and whatnot. And the family's pissed off. The people who put on the spelling bee are pissed off. Everybody's pissed off that he's doing this. And it turns out why he's doing it is to kind of like get revenge, which is really interesting. I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but to get some revenge. That's why he's doing this, and he succeeds in doing what he set out to do. But very interesting story. Jason Bateman was hilarious in this. He's just a complete a-hole. Everything out of his mouth is just potty language, and he's not a very nice guy. But he has some redeeming qualities, though, throughout the movie. He's not a total a-hole. He is nice. He befriends one of the kids in the spelling bee. He's pretty cool to him. So, worth checking out. This one was great. I really liked this. Underrated comedy, my opinion. Check out Bad Words. It was great. All right, then last 3 titles here. Ones I can't physically hold up and show you, as I only have digital copies of. We have Batman Bad Blood. Oh, so good. I am a big fan of the DC Universe animated movies. I love them, especially the Batman movies. They seem to keep getting better and better and better. And this one was great. Batman basically gets, they think he's dead for a little while, and turns out that I'm not spoiling too much here because you find out pretty quickly, he was kidnapped by Talia, and it's like basically Nightwing, Batwoman, not Batgirl, Batwoman, Batman's Robin, Batman and Talia's son, and a new character which was Batwing. They're all coming together now and trying to basically like save Batman's life, and they have to like beat up the bad guys and save Batman. They all have to come together. It's great. It's fantastic. It's so just amazing. I love all the characters. I mean, I love the Batman's son Robin. I love that version of Robin. It's great. Nightwing is awesome because Nightwing is so he's trying to get over being the original Robin, just being in the shadows of Batman and wanting to be Batman, and just, but Batman's kind of, who he is, and just, it's great to watch him try to like always want to just get away from like, who he was as Robin, but always getting sucked back into it. And just, he's a very interesting character, and he's very interesting in this. And of course, again, we have Batwoman, who's making an appearance in this, and Batwing, who also becomes a new character in this as well, which is great. And at the very end, they leave it open as a cliffhanger with Batgirl showing up at the end. So I'm thinking, are we going to get another one of these movies with Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batwing, Batwoman, and Batgirl? That would be cool. So highly recommend it. If you were a fan of the DC Universe movies, if you're a fan of like the animated Batman movies, one to see. It was great. Highly recommend it. Then I watched Spectre, the new 007 movie, because everybody was saying I had to see this one as well. And it was great. Really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more than Skyfall, I would have to say. I mean, I like Skyfall, but I think I enjoyed this movie more. Again, fantastic 007 movie. It didn't, I don't think it necessarily went, in my opinion, above and beyond like the other Bond movies, at least the other Daniel Craig Bond movies. I just thought it was, as kind of as good as the others, in my opinion. Some people might disagree and think it was like the best and whatnot. And I can understand if you think that. It makes sense. But I would basically say it's pretty much just as good as the others. If you like the Daniel Craig Bond movies, it's worth seeing. It's a great story. I would say the only downfall of this is that the twist, it's one of those, if you watch a lot of movies, you're gonna know, like, as soon as the movie starts, you're like, I know what the twist is. Like, it's so obvious. It's something I've seen, like, about a zillion times movies before. And I would say that about this movie is the one downfall also is the fact that the story didn't really seem original. They're trying to stop the 007 program, and kind of like there's a bad guy in their midst and whatnot, and it's just a story I've seen before. But regardless, it was told well. It's a fantastic story, lots of great action, lots of great characters. Definitely worth seeing if you're a fan of the new Bond movies. It's definitely worth checking out. So if you like the Daniel Craig Bond movies, see it. It was fantastic. Well done. You'll like it just as much as the others, I'm sure. And the last movie I checked out, actually saw it in the theaters, and that was Deadpool. Went out yesterday with the wife. We checked that movie out. It was actually we celebrated Valentine's Day a day early. We actually went out yesterday and did Valentine's Day. Got some lunch, and then we went and saw Deadpool, and went to Target, then I got my phone. But the movie was fantastic. Seeing Ryan Reynolds play a good Deadpool as opposed to in the Wolverine movie, which, oh my god, one of the things I love about this movie is the fact that they poke fun at Ryan Reynolds' other characters. They poke fun at, even though I liked him in the Blade series, I don't have anything wrong with that, but they poke fun at that. They poke fun at, the X-Men, Wolverine X-Men Origins Deadpool. They poke fun at Green Lantern a ton. I love the fact that they do that in this movie, and Ryan Reynolds was just fantastic in it. It's your anti-superhero movie. It's it's about somebody who's kind of a superhero, but sort of like an anti-superhero, and just super well done. I mean, it's raunchy, it's gory, it's definitely a strong R-rated anti-superhero movie. Take all like the X-Men's and the whatnot you've seen out there, even the Avengers and stuff like that, which are kind of, little PG-13 superhero movies and whatnot, and just ramp it up, just throw blood and gore and slicing and dicing and cursing and nudity and just, you name it, it's in this movie. And, I mean, the jokes are just like, constantly about like masturbation. So, I mean, it's one just like raunchy joke after another, and it's great. So again, I love the movie. Thought it was extremely, extremely funny, but also had a lot of good action and a really cool story. As far as Deadpool is concerned, I don't know a ton about Deadpool. I'm not some fanboy. I'm not jumping on the fanboy bandwagon. A lot of people are nowadays too when it comes to Deadpool. But I knew of the character because back in the day I used to be into like collecting Marvel Comics cards back when I was a little kid. So I certainly knew of the character and whatnot. I knew of Deadpool, but I don't know too much about him other than this movie. So my question is was the movie, for those of you who are fans of the comics and stuff like that, did Ryan Reynolds do a pretty good job? I mean, did the movie do a pretty good job of capturing the character of Deadpool? You guys let me know. Leave a comment below. I wanted to hear about that. Because it seemed kind of interesting that at the end of the movie, he kind of reverted back to who he was before he became the Deadpool character. Because he's kind of like Ryan Reynolds' character before he became the Deadpool character. Was, a smart mouth, constantly cracking jokes, and he's a little kind of like little zany and whatnot, but nothing too crazy. And then it becomes Deadpool and just goes like off the wall crazy, the Deadpool that you've seen from the trailers and whatnot, you've been hearing about. Definitely crazy, over the top, insane, which is a lot of fun, super fun character. But then at the end of the movie, he gets back with this girl and kind of becomes like the back to his before Deadpool self. And I'm like, is that normal? Does he kind of switch back and forth a lot and stuff? I mean, I don't really know the character, so leave some comments below when I hear your thoughts on that, because I was a little kind of like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, how he kind of reverted back to himself. But maybe that's who he is. Again, I don't really know. Maybe he switches between the kind of the the two lives he's lived like in his head a lot. I'm not sure, but I could see that with his character if he does do that, because he is getting crazy. But great movie. Again, I absolutely loved it. If you're a fan of superhero movies, it's one to see because again, it's your anti-superhero movie. It basically just like kicks. It takes all the superhero movies that have been out there and just like kicks them straight in the balls. It just like goes for just being as over the top as they can, and I thought it was very, very well done. Miss Sickness, she really enjoyed it as well. She thought it was just absolutely fantastic and very funny, and just, you know, again, she even said, she's like, this is so much different than the other superhero movies I've seen, and she's loved it. So definitely worth checking out. I'm sure you've heard good things, and everything you've heard is correct. I mean, it's great and definitely worth seeing. So definitely see Deadpool. It's great. And I can't wait for the sequel. I hear that it's already in the making, from what I've heard, which I can understand that. This movie's doing very well, getting pretty good reviews, and I'm sure we'll get a sequel. We have to. And I'm very happy about that. It's nice to see Ryan Reynolds finally get you know, his dues, his superhero dues, and finally get to be put into something actually really good. Although, like I said, I like the Blade series. I'm not against the Blade series, but obviously, when it comes to you know, X-Men Origins and Green Lantern, it's just kind of like, yeah, you know, that was what it was. But regardless, great movie. Definitely check it out. I like how they break the fourth wall a lot. I was loving that. Constantly breaking the fourth wall in this movie, which I thought was hilarious, and poking fun at the movie too, poking fun at the you know, superhero movies, poking fun at all the other Marvel movies and whatnot, which is great. So anyway, just see the movie. It's fantastic. Highly recommend. I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray, because as soon as it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm buying it. I'm watching it again. So it was great. Definitely check out Deadpool. So, all right, guys, there you go. That was it. That's everything I've recently checked out. Not too bad too. I'm running good on time. I got through that stuff pretty fast. So awesome. So all right, guys, that is it. So, like I always say, guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you want to see a new video from me every single day, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you're going to get one. And also, if you want to get yourself a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, hoodie, tank top, hats, buttons, all that kind of stuff, head over to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com, where you can get yourself some of that awesomeness. I'd appreciate it. And also, if you want to show your support, head over to Patreon patreon.com/CinemaSickness. There you go. Become a patron. Just show your support. Every tiny little bit helps and is greatly, greatly appreciated if you want to keep videos like this coming your way. And there you go, guys. So one quick thing, though. I want to say thank you to everybody who wished me good health yesterday, because, you know, I am still feeling under the weather. Feeling a little bit better today, so I'm hoping I'm not getting really sick. I should be fine. I hope. Knock on wood. We'll see. But for everybody who wished me good health, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I want to also say, tomorrow, video coming your way that you guys are going to love. So stay tuned for that. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.